If something were to happen to you, what would happen to your family? Would they have enough money deposits and investments to absorb the blow financially? This is an important point to ponder because when you consider that 54% of the population have less than £5,000 saved, while 24% of us have no savings whatsoever, it becomes clear that the absence of a partner can leave a family in a very dire position, both emotionally and financially. And this is an issue because over the years, our financial commitments have become more and more demanding, to where it is not untypical for the average family to have a mortgage and several other major bills to pay along with it. And in the event a major breadwinner is no longer able to contribute, what does one do? Does one go and get another job to reduce the burden? You could do, but it's not ideal. Does one get another partner to soften the blow? Again, you could, but one shouldn't be forced to get into a relationship under such circumstances if it can be helped. These things need to be built on a foundation of strength rather than desperation. So with that said, what does one do? Well, there is something many people already do but rarely talk about. And in such circumstances are safeguarded by the financial pitfalls which occur as a result. What I'm referring to here is life insurance, something that most people have heard of, but still something people know little about. A policy which can cost you as little as £15 a month can go a long way in providing the necessary financial support for your family to go on by in the event something unplanned happens. I know that this is somewhat of a morbid topic, but if you're truly serious about generational wealth, then these are the first steps. Because, as we've discussed before, generational wealth is all about passing things down and leaving things behind for our progeny, and making provisions for the unexpected is fundamental to safeguarding the futures of our families. So this episode will be dedicated to the benefits of life insurance and the types of policies which are available to you. Something which could cost as little as a Netflix subscription can be one of the best investments one could ever make. Some of you will have life insurance policies through their workplace, but still follow because this episode will give you more context and understanding as to how it works on a whole. So to make things crystal clear for you, life insurance is a type of insurance that can provide money for your partner, children, and other dependents should you die. One of the major benefits of life insurance is that it gives you the peace of mind that your family will be financially covered should anything happen to you. The reality is that most people still struggle to meet financial commitments even though they may have a partner who brings money in, which is why the fear of living standards falling if something were to happen can prove to be more hassle than it's worth, considering that there's products like life insurance which mitigate against this. The sad thing is that conversations surrounding things like this doesn't happen enough in black families. It took to my late 20s to ask my mum what life insurance even was and to learn that she already had a few policies out. Without me asking, I never would have known. Because what you find is a lot of black families is that girls are raised whilst boys are babied, and girls are made aware of things like this because it is expected of them to manage affairs of this nature when they eventually have families of their own, whilst the expectation for the boys is that they'll eventually get a woman who will set this all up for them. Please be transparent with your children as soon as you can about the importance of things like this, because otherwise one can pay a heavy price. Another benefit of life insurance is that depending on how your policy is structured, determines whether your family will get paid out in a lump sum or in monthly installments. This goes a long way in alleviating fear concerning your family being taken care of. Knowing this is important, especially if you're leaving behind debts such as mortgages and loans. It goes without saying that with you or without you, these things still need to get paid. Not having this catered for will have homes repossessed and bailiffs knocking on your door. There's an endless list of cases where families are forced to be homeless because the financial burden was too much to bear, especially when its chief breadwinner is no longer there to support them. Again, The manner of your payout will be determined by the policy itself. So if, for instance, you have a mortgage, then it may be in your best interest to get something known as a term of life insurance, which there are two types. One is level term insurance, where you pay the same premiums throughout the deal and the payout stays the same too. And the other is decreasing term insurance, which is similar to level term insurance as far as your premiums being the same each month. But instead of getting a consistent payout each month, the payout itself decreases over time. Typically, this sort of insurance will be cheaper and better suited to someone paying off a large debt like a mortgage. It is important to know that any form of term life insurance will only pay if one was to die during the agreed policy length. If, however, you wanted your family to get a lump sum guaranteed, then you would get something known as a whole of life insurance. Generally, this is more expensive than term life insurance, as the issuer knows it will definitely have to pay at some point. Other aspects of life insurance you may not know about is that you can defer your payments to a trust fund, which would ensure that it doesn't get hit by inheritance tax. Another aspect to life insurance is that some policies will take the premiums you pay and invest the money in the stock market, which could lead to an even higher payout. On top of that, some will even go to the length of helping your family with funeral costs. Please be mindful that I do not want to dress up life insurance because I expect something to happen to you, but more so for you to understand the full scope of such a service in the event something may happen. Any insurance we take out is a precautionary measure. We do it so we can mitigate against the spiraling costs that would otherwise accrue if we didn't take it out. Most of us have an insurance policy on our phones, our home, our car, but most don't have one to protect our family financially in the event something unfortunate happens. The logic here is very twisted, but one in which we need to overcome to ensure that our families are fully protected in the face of such events. How much your life insurance will cost will depend on your age, your health, your lifestyle, the length of the policy, and the amount of money you want to cover. It stands to reason that the older you are, the more money you want as a payout, and any medical problems will result in you paying higher premiums. At the end of the day, this is a business, and insurance companies need to protect their profits by charging the riskiest people the most. To give an off-the-cuff example, when Malcolm X knew that his days were numbered, he shopped around for a life insurance policy to safeguard his family, as he no longer had an income from when he split ways with the Nation of Islam. But no insurance company would touch him because it made no financial sense due to him being so high risk, as it was publicly known that his life was in severe danger. It's important to understand that life insurance usually only covers death. If you can't provide for your family because of illness or disability, you won't be covered. Also, if you have a serious health problem when you take out the policy, your insurance might exclude any cause of death related to that illness. Basically, if you're above the age of 25 looking to start a family and getting on the property ladder, then this is definitely for you. It is from this period that one is typically looking to expand their wealth, but take on debt whilst doing so. And to ensure you're mitigating against the risk against yourself and your family, then this is truly a no-brainer. No one wants to imagine their own mortality, and for that reason, it is easy for one to take for granted the provisions one should put in place to safeguard us from any grim realities. Again, I don't want you to ever have to enact your life insurance policy, or any life insurance policy for that matter. I want all your efforts to be in vain, but nonetheless, it doesn't hurt to be prepared. That brings us to the end of this particular episode. I'd like to thank you, as always, for tuning in. I hope that you was able to extract value from that. As always, make sure that you download our free ebook, which details 40 proven ways to generate £1,000 each month passively. You can find the details of that in the description. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram at bMoor.co. So that's bMoor at dot co. So BMOOR.co. And yeah, as always, thanks again, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Peace.